Today there are important updates from the Liman direction. Here, Ukrainian commanders launched a preemptive counteroffensive to disrupt the Russian plans to expand their bridgeheads. With the recent information that the Russians are gathering significant forces for a renewed assault, this could be another make or break moment for the Ukrainian defense. The Russian military has expanded several bridgeheads across the Zherebets River and now plans to use them as stepping stones for a larger offensive toward Borova and Liman in the coming weeks. Their objective now is to widen the crossings and bring in reinforcements to launch a broader push once conditions allow. With the spring mud season approaching fast, there is little time left for Russia to solidify its presence. Adding to the pressure, there is only one hardened road leading from Svatove, the main Russian logistical hub, toward Borova. If the Russians fail to secure this road and broaden their bridgehead, any serious offensive risks collapsing under logistical strain, especially once the terrain becomes impassable for armored vehicles. Recognizing this, Ukrainian forces have taken the initiative. The Ukrainian 3rd Army Corps, particularly the 3rd Assault Brigade, is not waiting for the Russian offensive to gain momentum and materialize. Instead, they acted to deny the Russians the opportunity to transform their fragile foothold into a viable launchpad by destroying the bridgehead before any potential assault. As you remember, Ukrainian forces have already eliminated a significant portion of Russian artillery in the area, significantly weakening Russian fire support capabilities, crucial for their offensive. Now they are pushing forward in a determined counterattack. Ukrainian troops have begun reclaiming positions along the 3rd Assault Brigade's area of responsibility as part of a deliberate effort to squeeze the Russians out. The bridgehead the Russians hold here is the narrowest along the Zherebets River line, and that makes it the most fragile. By targeting it first, Ukraine can quickly disrupt Russian planning and roll back the line before the enemy gets a chance to exploit their foothold. Once the area is cleared, Ukrainian forces from this sector can be redeployed to bolster defenses elsewhere along the 3rd Army Corps zone, further complicating Russia's offensive ambitions. As Ukrainians push toward Raihorodka, they are regaining fire control over the only hardened road in the area, the very one Russians need to be able to move heavy equipment from Svatove to their offensive toward Borova. With the ground near the river turning to mud much earlier than on the higher elevations where Ukrainian forces are entrenched, the road becomes even more critical for Russian logistics. If Ukraine maintains pressure and control in this area, Russia will be unable to move armored vehicles west, and the road will be reduced to a liability, constantly targeted, under fire, and of little use to a stalled Russian effort amidst worsening terrain conditions. Drone warfare has become a defining feature of this war, and Ukraine has proven highly effective in using it both offensively and defensively. Ukrainians learned that when drone operators are forced to divide their attention between frontline combat and rear area strikes, their impact is weakened. By focusing their drone operations on the front line now, Ukrainians will be able to push Russians back over the river and stabilize the front. This will allow Ukrainians to then concentrate fully on targeting enemy logistics, just as they have at Pokrovsk, where focused drone attrition is steadily dismantling the Russian Pokrovsk offensive. This counterattack, therefore, is more than a defensive response. It is a preemptive strike to collapse the foundation of a planned Russian offensive before it even begins, and timing is everything. Russian forces reportedly gathered as many as 30,000 troops for a renewed assault in the Borova-Liman direction. If Ukraine can derail that buildup now, they will have spoiled Russian plans to advance to the Oskal River with a single decisive campaign. Overall, Ukraine's counterattack along the Zherebets River is a calculated move to sabotage the foundation of Russia's next offensive before it gets off the ground. Turning the terrain, timing and firepower advantage squarely in Ukraine's favor can potentially force the Russian command to change plans for their spring campaign in this direction. If you are against the invasion of Ukraine and you want to support the work that I am doing, consider subscribing to our own independent news website. Here you can find our exclusive strategic insights, comprehensive overviews of all fronts, and regular tactical analysis videos. By subscribing, you will not only show your support for this channel, but also help and defend independent journalism. The link to our website is in the description. Thank you for watching this report, and I appreciate everyone who stepped up to join us.